Just a reminder that we are using the Tennessee Foundational Skills Curriculum Supplement. We're working in Grade 1 and Unit 1. All of the materials that you might need can be downloaded from the Tennessee Foundational Skills Curriculum Supplement LMS page or from Best for All Central. Okay, now that you're back, I promised you some new and exciting things today. And the first thing that we're doing that's new and exciting is going to be with our Sounds First. Okay, so in Sounds First, we are going to do some work with rhyme. And in order to do some work with rhyme, we're going to have some popcorn time. Okay, so popcorn time, and when we popcorn out rhymes, we're going to have an opportunity for you guys to see the kernels are going to heat up. You know, like if you microwave popcorn, it starts out with little kernels, like little seeds, and then it has the oil in the bag, and then it heats up in the microwave, and then the kernel pops, and that becomes that fluffy popcorn that we eat. And so you are going to help me heat the kernels up today, okay? In order to heat the kernels up, we are going to turn up the heat until it's hot enough to start popping out rhyming words. So for example, I will say a word, and then we'll turn up the heat, turn up the heat, turn up the heat. When you rub your hands together, do you notice it gets a little bit hotter? That's called friction. Just throwing that in there. Okay, here we go. So let's do an example, and then we'll do multiple ones. All right, so our first word is fall. Fall. Fall is my favorite time of the year. Fall. Okay, here we go. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. Heat up your kernels. I'm heating them up. I'm heating them up. You're not quite there yet. You're not quite there yet. And remember, I'm showing you how to do this one. So then I'll say, throw them in. When you throw them in, then it's your time to pop out a rhyming word. Okay? So here we go. Fall. We're heating it up, heating it up, heating it up, fall. And the whole time I'm heating it up, I'm thinking of a word that might rhyme with fall. Because in kindergarten, I did so much rhyming work. I know how to rhyme. So, let's see. Fall. Oh, okay. Pop it out. All. Mall. Ball. Call. Okay, that's how it's going to work. So I will tell you the word. We'll all heat up together. And then when I say pop, you are going to pop out those rhyming words. Okay? Here we go. Our word is, make sure you're rubbing it together. Here we go. We're trying to turn up the heat. Turn up the heat. Our word is nap. Nap, 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 nap. A word that would rhyme with nap. Turn up the heat. We're not there yet. Nap. Pop. Can you hear them? Very good. I heard someone say cap. I heard lap. I heard map. Very good. If you came up with a word that rhymes with nap, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Very good. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Let's heat it up. Heat it up. The word is tin. Tin. Tin, like a tin can. Here we go. Heat it up. 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 Word that rhymes with tin. Tin. Pop. Let me hear them. Very good. I heard pin, like a push pin. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's do another one. Here we go. Pit. Pit. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. Pit. Pop. Pit. Good. I heard bit. I heard hit. What else? Lit. Very good. Very good. All right. Last one. Here we go. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. Heat up those kernels. The word is bus. Pop. Let me hear those rhyming words, first graders. Very good. Very good. All right. Now let's go into our next activity. Okay. So our activities go very quickly. Our next activity, we are going to practice cutting off some sounds in words. Okay. So we're going to listen to this word sleep. Sleep. Okay. Listen to the word sleep. All right. On the word sleep, I'm going to take my fist, I'm going to put it under my mouth, and I'm going to start, and I'm going to end here, okay? So watch. Sleep. Ready? Sleep. Okay. So if I start here with the sleep, that's the way that word kind of makes a curve, okay? Sleep. Sleep. All right. Now, in order for us to cut off some sounds, we have to hear all of those sounds. And sometimes when we just say the word sleep, we don't hear all of those sounds. We don't see our mouth make those sounds. Sleep. Sleep. Okay. So, boys and girls, what I would like for you to do is to see if you can cut off the s sound from sleep. Sleep. Now, cut off the s sound. What are you left with? Leap. Very good. Very good. I would like for you to practice with another word. I want you to take the word clean. I think it's time to clean your room. Clean. Clean. All right? So if we have the word clean, clean on the curve, and I take off the sound. Clean. What word am I going to have? Clee. Huh, that's an interesting non-word, right? So I've cut off that ending sound. All right, let's think about the word slip. Slip. Start here. Slip. Slip. Okay? Now I want us to cut out the sound. So it was slip. Let's cut out the sound. So it would be sip. Sip. Very good. Very good. Good job cutting out those sounds. All right. Boys and girls, I would like for us to do the word glad. Glad. All right. We're going to start here. Glad. Glad. So it's glad. Glad. Okay? Now I want us to take out the sound. Add. That's right. So we've cut out the sound. Add. Gad. Okay. All right, boys and girls, the last sounds first activity that we are going to do is a silly stories sounds first activity. So silly stories, and here you go, I have all of these up here. Popcorn rhyme, we manipulated some sounds, and then we're doing some silly stories. So I would like for you guys to think about this silly story, and I would like for you to repeat it after me. Now, in our silly stories, they are stories that kind of evolve over time. They get bigger over time. So today we'll have one sentence, and by the end of lesson 10, we'll have 5 sentences to put together that make a whole story. So today, you're only going to learn about the one sentence to begin our story. Okay, so I will say it, and then you'll say it back to me, and we'll do that a couple of times. Right, so here is our sentence today. Teddy Reddy traveled all over town. Your turn. Teddy Reddy traveled all over town. Okay, make sure you open your mouth really big and wide. Make those sounds come out. Here we go. Teddy Reddy traveled all over town. Your turn. Very good. So we know that the first sentence of our new story is Teddy Reddy traveled all over town. Let's move into our work around sister sounds. Sister sounds. If you have printed off your cards from worksheet 11.2, go ahead and get those out. There's a card for the letter S, the letter Z, the letter F, and the letter V. Okay, so I would, if I were you, I would lay those out in front of me. Maybe you're at a table or you are, on the floor. I would lay them out kind of like this and maybe put your next sounds underneath. Lay them out so that you can see all 4 of them. If you've made your own, then go ahead and use those as well, okay? Mine are going to actually be on the slide, so you can see mine, okay? You can lay those out. If you've made your own, great. If not, that is okay. You can use mine on the screen. I'm going to say some words, and you're going to decide which sound they have, okay? It's important to understand what we're talking about when we talk about sister sounds. Say sister sounds. Okay, if a sound is a sister sound, that means that they are so closely related, okay? If you have a sister, then that means a lot of times you're very close to them, right? Maybe you have the same color hair. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have the same color eyes. Maybe you don't. But you share something. So S and Z are sister sounds. I want you to watch my mouth and listen to me as I say each sound and tell me why they might be sister sounds. Here we go. Zzz. 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 Okay, now your turn. Make the sounds. When I point to this one, make this sound. When I point to this one, make this sound. Zzz. Zzz. Okay, what makes those the same? Right, so my mouth is made exactly the same, okay? Each time, watch my mouth. Oop, I'm sorry. Zzz. Zzz. I don't change my mouth. So that makes those sounds sister sounds. Now, we've got to figure out what makes those sounds different. So for these sounds, let's check and see if one might be voiced and one might be unvoiced. So in order to check that, I'm going to put my hand on my voice box and I'm going to say the sounds while never moving my hand. Zzz. Zzz. I'm noticing that the s sound is unvoiced while the z sound is voiced. If you notice that, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so that means that these sounds we've got to pay extra careful attention to. Let's look at the v sound and the f sound. Again, I want you to watch my mouth and listen to me as I say the sounds. And then tell me what about these sounds makes them sister sounds? What makes them similar or the same? Okay? V, v, v. What do you notice? Now you do it. V, v. Exactly. Our mouths stay the same even though we're changing sounds. But something is changing because the sound that we are producing is changing from v to v. Okay? All right, so let's check our voice box. V, v. Yes, so the v sound is definitely a voiced sound. The f sound is unvoiced, but they are so similar in the way that we form our mouths. Okay, so these are going to be sister sounds that we need to pay careful attention to when we're reading and writing, and especially when we're speaking, that they come out clearly and that we hear them correctly. All right, so let's practice with these. I'm going to say a word, and I want you to look at the cards out in front of you that look like mine, or they're homemade, and that's okay. And whenever I say a word, and it's either going to have the s, the z, the v, or the f sound, I want you to hold that card up to the computer screen, okay? Or whatever screen you're looking at. Here we go. Sit. Good. I'm going to point to it with my arrow. Sit. Yes, I heard the s sound. Zip. Good. I heard the z sound. Zoom. Good. I heard the z sound. Sell. Good. I heard the s sound. Zack. Zack. I heard the z sound. Good. Sing. Good. I heard the s sound. Zoo. Good. I heard the z sound. Sock. Good. I heard the s sound. Zone. Good. I heard the z sound. All right. Fit. Fit. Good. I heard the f sound. Vet. Vet. Good. I heard the v sound. Van. Yes, the v sound. Fast. Heard the f sound. Fetch. Heard the f sound. Verb. Heard the v sound. View. Heard the v sound. Fall. I heard the f sound. Fox. Heard the f sound. Very, very good. Very good. Go ahead and put your sister sounds cards away. Now I'd like for us to move on to our tricky words, our tricky word work. In order to do our tricky word work, it's going to be important that we review the words that we already know, the words that we already know. So one of the tricky words that we already know is I. Another one that we already know is what? A. Very good. The next one is no. Like, no, you may not go outside. The next one is so. So, we can't go outside, so we played inside. The next one is of. Of. I would like a piece of cake. And our new ones, you see me there, I'm super excited. We have a new tricky word today, is, and another new tricky word today, to. So I'm going to flip over to our document camera so you guys can see my tricky word cards. And we can talk about what makes each word tricky, as well as make a sentence with each word. So the first one here that we talked about was I. We know the entire word I is tricky because we don't decode it as I, and it must be what every time we write it or read it. Must be capitalized. So I underline the entire word, I. Now you guys make a sentence with I. Good. So my sentence is, I want to go to the lake. I. Put that one away. All right. Our next one is what? What word is this? A. The word is A. I underlined the entire word because the entire word is tricky. There's not a part of it that's tricky. All of it is tricky. We would try to decode this word like but it's actually A. I would like a new dress. A. Okay? The next one that we learned was no. And why did I underline the O in no? I underlined the O in no because it is the tricky part. If we tried to decode it using our code knowledge, we would say nah. But that's not what that word is. That word is no. So I underlined it. And this is like, no, you may not do that. So to come up with a sentence with no. All right. My sentence is, I would like a pair of shoes with no laces. No laces. Okay? The next word that we have learned is sow. Everyone say this word, sow. Good. That's not like we sow seeds in the garden or we sew an apron together. This word is sow. I have so many things to do today. So, come up with a sentence with the word so. Make sure you say it aloud. I want to hear those, and I know that your helpers there want to hear them as well. Good. Very good. All right. The next one of our last ones that we've learned was of. And we underlined the entire word because this O says and this V says v. Excuse me, this F says v. So of is entirely tricky. I want a piece of pie. Okay? I want a slice of pizza. She was one of my friends. So I would like for you to come up with a sentence and make sure you say it aloud to go with the word of, using the word of. Very good. All right, so our new ones today, two new words today are is and to. Is and to. Say this word is. Right? This word is a tricky word because it's, let's listen to the sounds that you hear in the word is. Is. This S, actually, in this space, I hear the Z sound, but what is here is an S, and so that's tricky to me for right now, right? So it's tricky for right now. Is. So I underlined the S because it actually is giving me a sound that I would think would be spelled with what letter? A Z, right? So it's not, but the word is. Is she a good basketball player? Is. Then you might answer that, yes, she is a good basketball player. Okay? So go ahead and come up with a sentence with the word is. Good. All right, and our last one that we're going over today is the word to. This is like, I am going to the grocery store. This is not to represent the number 2. Okay? And this is also not the one that means also. This is, I am going to the grocery store. All right? Everybody say to. And I've underlined the O here because if I tried to decode this, I might think that it says t-ah. But that's not what it says. The spelling here in the sounds tell me that it's t-oo, which doesn't go with the code knowledge that I know right now about the letter O. Okay? So this word is to, and the O is the tricky part. To. Please come up with a sentence with the word to. Very good. All right, now just to review, before we wrap up our lesson, I want us to go back through all of our tricky words, and I want us to say them aloud. All right, here we go. I, your turn. A, your turn. No, your turn. So, your turn. Of, your turn. Is, our new one. To. Very good. Now, these are some of the phrases and sentences that you can read on your own now that you know these words. The first one says, it is a cat. Your turn. Good. Number 2, is it hot? Good. I want number 3, I want you to read on your own. Good. I hope that you said Sam went to bed. Sam went to bed. Did you get it? Good. Right, number 4. It is a bag of chips. Your turn. Right, I want you to do number 5 on your own. Good. I hope you said, is it fun? That's a question, just like number 2 is a question. Right, and number 6. Let's do it all together, all at once. I went to camp. Camp. I went to camp. Very good. Very good. Kiss your brain. You did a lot of practicing today. And there is another Move It star just popped up on us. All right, in order to move it to wrap up our lesson, I want you guys to stand up, reach out, give yourself a big old hug, and say, I did a great job today. Very good. Now, if you've got someone there that would like for you to pause and practice a little bit more, these are great words that you can read and phrases and sentences that you know how to read. You have all the skills to be able to be successful with this. So if you need an opportunity to pause and practice reading a little bit more, these are some great words and phrases for you to do that with. That is the end of Lesson 6 for Tennessee Foundational Skills Curriculum Supplement. First graders, I look forward to seeing you for Lesson 7. See you soon.